You ask a simple question. The bot responds, "You have 12 days left, 20 total minus 8 used. See HR Policy Section 3.2. That lands in under 2 seconds. If you've ever wondered how a model that was trained months ago suddenly knows your company's latest policy, this is the trick behind it. Here's the intuition. Think of Retrieval-Augmented Generation like a very good librarian. The model doesn't try to remember the entire library. It asks the librarian to pull the right books, opens them to the key pages, and then explains the answer in its own words. I'll be honest, this took me a while to really get. Large language models are incredible at writing, pattern matching, and reasoning in short bursts. But they're not a live database. The magic is pairing them with a retrieval system that feeds them fresh, authoritative snippets at the exact moment you ask for something. So at this point, we've got a clear split in roles. The retriever finds, the generator writes. That separation is the whole game. Here's how this comes together in practice. The first thing that happens is your organization's data gets ingested. PDFs, Confluence pages, policy docs, even rows from a database, anything with text. It's split into small pieces, often a few hundred tokens each, and each piece gets turned into numbers called an embedding. An embedding is just a list of numbers that clusters similar ideas near each other. Paid time off lands close to PTO, even if the exact words differ. This is what makes search semantic rather than keyword only. Those vectors get stored in what's called a vector database. Think Pinecone, Elasticsearch with vector search, or Azure Cognitive Search. In production systems, this is where indexing matters a lot. You'll see structures like HNSW, hierarchical navigable small world graphs, that make find the nearest neighbors fast at scale. That's the first half of the puzzle. Get your knowledge base into a form the model can search quickly. The second half starts when a user asks a question. The user's question is also turned into an embedding using the same model. That puts the question into the same numeric space as your documents. Now, how many days of PTO do I have left? Lives near, employees receive 20 days per year, and employee 1234 used 8 days in 2025. From there, the system searches the vector database for the top K most similar chunks. Maybe it pulls the top 10. These are the passages most likely to contain the answer. To put it simply, the system finds the right pages before asking the model to write. Fair warning. This is where it gets a bit dense, but stick with me. Those top 10 chunks are good, not perfect. So a re-ranker model often takes a second pass. It scores each candidate with the original question and reorders them by actual relevance. Duplicates get filtered, random noise gets demoted. You might keep the best 3 to 5, each a few hundred tokens. Then these selected chunks are placed into the prompt alongside the user's question. Here's how I like to think about it. We're giving the model a reading packet, exactly what we want it to read before answering. The prompt will often say, use only this context. If you don't see an answer, say you don't know, include citations. And here's the part that still amazes me. In a blink, a model with no built-in knowledge of your private data writes a coherent, grounded answer because we handed it the right materials seconds earlier. Let's pause there for a second. We're not changing the model's memory. We're changing what's in front of it at answer time. That's the essence of Retrieval-Augmented Generation. Back to our HR chatbot. The employee asks about remaining leave. The system embeds the question, pulls the PTO policy chunk that says 20 days per year, and the employee record chunk that says used 8 days in 2025, re-ranks to keep those two, then augments the prompt with both. The model answers 12 days left, cites the policy section, and finishes, start to finish in under 2 seconds. So at this point, we've got the flow: embed the data, embed the query, retrieve, re-rank, feed the context, then generate. That's the heartbeat of RAG. You've probably seen this without realizing it. When Microsoft Copilot answers questions about your files, or when a Slack bot summarizes a thread with references. Under the hood, this is what powers those grounded answers. This connects directly to your existing search stack because you can blend keyword search with vector search. Keyword handles exact terms, acronyms, and IDs. Vectors handle meaning and synonyms. If your domain is full of jargon or codes, hybrid search can be the difference between close and spot on. Don't worry if this feels abstract. It'll click when we walk a concrete path end to end. Imagine your HR data as 10,000 chunks stored in a vector index. We fetch the top 5 for how much leave do I have left by causing similarity above 0.85. A re-ranker keeps the two best. We add them to the prompt and the model replies with 12 days left, 20 total minus 8 used, per policy. You can audit the exact lines it used. To put it simply, the answer isn't coming from the model's memory. It's coming from your documents. Here's why that matters in the real world. Your data changes every day. Policies get updated, pricing moves, people join and leave. RAG adapts instantly because nothing had to be retrained. It just retrieved different, fresher passages and used them. When you think about what's actually happening here, it's remarkable. We're turning a general-purpose writer into a context-aware assistant by handing it the right pages at the right moment. I'll be straight, RAG isn't a silver bullet. There are failure modes worth knowing. Retrieval can miss. If your chunking slices a critical sentence in half, or your embedding model doesn't understand your domain language, the right passage may never show up. No retrieved context means the model is back to guessing. The intuition here matters more than the exact details. You want chunks big enough to carry a complete thought, but not so big they dilute the match. Think 256 to 1024 tokens with a bit of overlap to avoid cutting key context across boundaries. In production systems, this is where tooling helps. LangChain and Llama Index automate chunking strategies, share embeddings between ingestion and queries, and orchestrate retrieval, re-ranking, and prompting in one place. Quick reset. The mechanics are solid, but the defaults aren't enough by themselves. You tune chunk size, choose an embedding model that understands your data, and set up hybrid search if keywords matter. These tweaks change outcomes a lot. And here's what most people get wrong. RAG doesn't eliminate hallucinations. It reduces them. If the retriever misses, or if the model's prompt gets too crowded, the model can still invent. That's why you'll see systems force citations or instruct answer from context only. This is what happens when you open many enterprise assistants today. NVIDIA's enterprise stack, AWS Bedrock agents with knowledge bases, Azure OpenAI on top of cognitive search. The pattern is consistent. Retrieval first, then grounded generation with guardrails. If you're a product manager scoping an internal assistant, this is the lever that unlocks trustworthy answers without retraining every week. Back to our HR lead Maya. She doesn't want to fine-tune a model whenever policy changes. She wants the bot reading the new PDF by lunchtime. Let's talk performance without diving into math too deeply. Retrieval adds steps. Embed the query, search, possibly re-rank. That can add latency. For chat with sub-2 second goals, it's fine. For sub-100 millisecond real-time, it's tough. The practical upshot: if you're building an autocomplete or a voice agent, consider caching common embeddings, pre-computing popular queries, and trimming re-ranking. If it's knowledge lookup, you can spend those extra 200 milliseconds for better precision. So where does fine-tuning fit if RAG is this flexible? Fine-tuning shapes behavior and style, and helps with specialized formats. Think audit-ready summaries or specific legal phrasing. RAG supplies the facts. Fine-tuning handles the way those facts are presented. To put it simply, RAG keeps you current. Fine-tuning keeps you on brand. And because many teams ask, no, any vector database won't do the same out of the box. Index type, parameter tuning, and hardware all matter once you've got millions of vectors. HNSW settings like M and EF, or how you balance memory versus recall, affect both speed and quality. Here's a grounded way to set this up well. Start with chunk sizes around 512 tokens and a 15-20% overlap. That keeps clauses intact in legal and policy documents. Retrieve the top 5 to 20 results, then re-rank down to 3 to 5. You'll see recall jump and noise drop at the same time. Monitor retrieval recall on a set of known questions. Aim for above 90%. If recall falls, improve your embeddings, adjust chunking, or add metadata filters like department or document type. Before we go further, let's ground this in the HR example with real numbers. A vector index holds 10,000 chunks. The question embedding retrieves the top 5, all with cosine similarity above 0. 85. A re-ranker keeps the policy chunk and the personal record chunk. The prompt carries roughly 1,000 tokens of context. The model's response arrives at 1.7 seconds end-to-end. That's fully feasible today. If you're keeping score, we're at the point where the biggest gains come from better retrieval, not a bigger model. It's very common to see a smaller, faster model outperform a larger one once you give it perfect context. The engineering behind this is genuinely clever. Instead of trying to remember everything, we optimize for finding, compressing, and presenting the right few hundred tokens at the exact moment they matter. Let's talk about guardrails and access, because this is where enterprise reality kicks in. Your retriever should respect permissions. If Maya shouldn't see salary bands, the vector database query needs to filter by access control lists before results ever hit the prompt. This connects directly to your identity systems, Okta, Azure AD, Google Workspace. because the effective context is a function of who's asking. The same question from two people may retrieve different chunks, and data lineage matters. Many teams include source URLs, document IDs, and even line numbers with each chunk. When the model cites, it can pass those IDs through so your UI highlights the exact lines that shaped the answer. So far, so good. We've established that RAG is a pipeline. Where does it break? 1. Retrieval failures. Poor embeddings or bad chunking splits. 2. Latency. Extra steps can push you over tolerances for real time. 3. Reasoning limits. If the question requires pulling from 20 documents, a small context window won't hold it all, and the model may stitch partial facts incorrectly. Here's the so what. You mitigate these by improving recall, adding hybrid search, and using routing. Easy questions go straight to generation. Hard, multi-document questions trigger iterative retrieval, or a tool that calls a structured query before writing. And because it's easy to mix this up, RAG is not a replacement for databases or analytics. If you need precise totals, an API call that returns a definitive number beats a paragraph explained from context. RAG can orchestrate that call, but it's not the source of truth. Back to Maya for a moment. She updates the policy mid-year. Contractors now get 10 days instead of 5. No retraining. She re-ingests the updated PDF. The next contractor who asks sees the new number with the new citation. That's the value, staying current with minimal friction. I'll be honest, building the evaluation harness is the unglamorous part that makes everything else work. You need a set of questions and ground truth answers, a way to measure whether the right chunks were retrieved and whether the answer stayed within the context. That's what keeps hallucinations from creeping back in as your corpus grows. Let's boil the mental model down to something you can carry. Retrieval finds the pages. Augmentation hands them to the model. Generation writes the answer and points back to sources. Everything else, re-ranking, hybrid search, caching, is about doing those 3 steps faster and more accurately. Quick sanity check. If a system you're evaluating can't show you the retrieved text and the citations it used, it's not doing real RAG. It might still be useful, but it's not grounded. What this means in practice is straightforward. For dynamic, organization-specific facts, RAG often beats fine-tuning. For tone, format, and task behavior, fine-tuning complements RAG. Together, they cover most enterprise needs without chasing bigger models. If you're rolling this out, a few practical heuristics help. Keep chunk sizes in that 256 to 1024 token range with around 20% overlap, and vary by document type. Legal and policy docs prefer 512 to avoid cutting clauses. FAQs can go smaller. Start by retrieving the top 10, re-rank to the best 3 to 5, and measure. If you see 80% answer accuracy with 10 retrieved, you often can drop to 5 after re-rank and still keep quality while saving time. Monitor retrieval recall on a held-out set and aim for above 90%. If it drops, that's the sign to improve embeddings, add filters, or adjust chunking boundaries. And if you're eyeing scale, tune your vector index. HNSW parameters like if construction and M affect recall and memory trade-offs. Also consider sharding by department or topic to keep search latency predictable as your corpus grows. Just to ground this before we wrap, you can get started with managed services, Azure Cognitive Search with Azure OpenAI, AWS Bedrock with knowledge bases, or Elastic with their vector features. LangChain, Llama Index, and OpenAI's retrieval tools help stitch the steps together. All of these are using the same underlying idea. When you think about deploying this company-wide, you'll add a few layers. Access control integration, content redaction for sensitive fields, logging for audits, and continuous evaluation. The core pipeline doesn't change, you're just making it enterprise-proof. If you're keeping score, we've circled the loop a few times. Data goes in as chunks with embeddings. Queries become embeddings too. A fast vector search retrieves likely matches. A re-ranker polishes. The prompt is augmented with those snippets. The model writes a grounded answer with citations. Hold on to that. It's the mental model you'll reuse everywhere you see up-to-date answers from your data. One last perspective because it surprised me at first. Sometimes a smaller, cheaper model with great retrieval beats a giant model with mediocre retrieval. The context you feed the model is leverage. Retrieval is how you apply it. To tie it back to our librarian, we don't ask the librarian to memorize every book. We ask them to find the right chapter, place a finger on the paragraph we need, and then explain it clearly. RAG is that workflow turned into software. So, Zooming out. This is what's happening when your HR bot answers a policy question, when a sales assistant compiles a custom proposal from your catalog, or when a support agent drafts a reply that quotes the exact section of the manual. The same pattern repeats because it works. And if you take nothing else from this, take this. The model is writing. The retrieval system is thinking about where the facts come from. Design each for what it's good at, and they elevate each other. If this helped clarify how retrieval-augmented generation works, a like and subscribe helps us make more of these.